Other future-focused questions that we know are being asked is, what are you going to do if you see a crime taking place? Now, that's a huge question. First question I'm going to ask is, am I on duty or am I off duty? Because they're two completely different scenarios. Either way, the first thing you're going to do is, I'm going to conduct a dynamic risk assessment. What does that mean? That means I'm going to assess how can I maximize public safety and minimize risk to myself. Now, why do you think I talk about maximize public safety, but not maximize Liam's safety? Liam's a police officer. He's seeing a crime taking place. Why is Liam not maximizing his own safety? Well, because being a police officer has an inherent risk. So Liam, in your case, to maximize your safety when a crime's taking place, you would simply have to run away. But you're a cop, you can't run away. You have to do something. So, but you're doing something has to involve minimizing risk to yourself or your colleagues, whether you're on duty or you're off duty. Now, if you're on duty, it's dead easy. Get on the radio, tell them where you are, tell them what you've got, ask for backup. Then you step forward. You're going to have your personal protective equipment with you, your ASP, your parva spray, your baton, and you're going to use your conflict resolution skills. You're going to resolve it. And then the cavalry will arrive 10 minutes later, job done. Wholly different when you're off duty. You're still going to conduct a dynamic risk assessment, but of course the risk to yourself is greater. You don't have a protective vest, and you don't have your weapons of choice, your parva spray, your ASP, or your handcuffs. But you still have to do something as a police officer. So you're going to think to yourself, right, what can I do here that's going to maximize public safety and mitigate risk? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is, if I think it's going to kick off, I'm going to ring 999, tell them I'm an off-duty police officer and I'm seeing a crime in action. And it's becoming violent and there's risk to the public. And then you're going to record what's taken place or give commentary over the phone. So when your colleagues arrive, they can deal with it. People think that as a police officer, that doing something means you have to arrest somebody. Well, in an ideal world, it's going to be great. But frankly speaking, if you see a really good looking man with a turban and beard wearing a light blue super ride jacket who's off his head on cocaine with a huge machete, and you're off duty with your family, with the best will in the world, all of your officer safety training is not going to stop me lopping your head off. But you have to do something. So you're doing something is going to be shouting to people to get away, shouting at me, police, stop. I've called the police, making sure that your personal safety is maximized, minimize risk to yourself, and don't physically get involved. There'll be other times where you can get involved. So, Gemma's at Nando's and she sees someone trying to steal some of the XXX sauce, which is fantastic, by the way. The XXX sauce is brilliant. It's one in the black bottles. I recommend it. It'll blow your head off. And you're off duty, I can tackle that. Right, Raj, you're nicked for stealing, sauce from Nando's. So it depends on what you've got in front of you. But at all times, dynamic risk assessment, maximizing public safety, minimizing risk to myself. Now, if you're off duty, tell them that you're a police officer. You don't want anyone to say, I didn't know that Eva was a cop. And the other thing is also that if you're going to put hands on to somebody and they fight you back, there is a defense for them saying, I didn't know you were a police officer, so I was defending myself. I thought this handsome fellow in a black Adidas t-shirt with his cap back to front, who's got multiple degrees, was just assaulting me. Mohammed, I'm talking about you, by the way, in case you weren't sure that was a reference. Whereas if Mohammed says, I'm a police officer, I'm now going to detain you, then there is no defense for saying, well, I just thought I was being attacked by an off-duty male model. You're told them you're a police officer, you're protecting yourself. So these are things like that. I'm going to run a scenario past you, and that will probably be the last. So we've got 13 minutes, 12 actually.